Let me share something simple, but life-changing. No complications, no fancy formulas. Just one powerful idea: learning to think the right way. That's it. That's the real secret. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You don't need to be the strongest or the luckiest. If you can master how you think, that alone can transform everything. Let me tell you a bit about myself. When I was younger, I wasn't clever. Honestly, my school reports were embarrassing. You might even laugh at them. Failure after failure. I failed middle school not once, not twice, but 3 times. When I tried to get into college, I failed the entrance exam 3 times again. I applied for a job at KFC. There were 24 applicants. 23 were hired. I was the only one rejected. Even the police turned me down. Back then, it hurt. I felt like a loser. But now, looking back, I can say this with full confidence: those failures were blessings in disguise. Because here's the truth: when most people fail, they fall into a trap of negative thinking. They tell themselves things like, "I'm not smart enough. I'm just unlucky. I'm not good at anything." Wrong. Failure isn't a sign that you're done. It's actually the beginning. Failure is life's way of giving you lessons for free, if you're wise enough to receive them. Each time I failed, I learned. I realized that rejection wasn't personal. It didn't mean I wasn't valuable. It just meant my time hadn't come yet. I learned patience. I learned to wait for my moment, to keep building myself, and to never give up. This is what I always tell young people. When you face a problem, don't waste your time complaining. Complaining does nothing but waste energy. Winners don't complain. Winners think differently. When they see a problem, they say, "This is an opportunity. This is a chance to grow." You know what problems really are? Opportunities wearing dirty clothes. They don't look shiny or glamorous, but if you take the time to solve them, you'll uncover gold underneath. When I started my first company, people called me crazy. They said the internet would never work in China. They laughed and said, "Jack, you don't know tech. You don't know management. You have no money. You don't have the right connections." I told them, that might be true. But I have something even more powerful. I know how to think. That was my strength. Let me tell you something important: your brain is a muscle. You need to train it every day. When something bad happens, don't say, "Why me?" Instead, ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" If you meet someone who is more successful than you, don't get jealous. Don't feel small. Get curious. Ask questions. Learn from them. Growth begins with humility. Remember, this success doesn't belong to the fastest or the smartest. It belongs to those who don't quit. I'm not the most brilliant person. I'm not the best speaker. But one thing I am: relentless. I keep going. Even when it's hard. Even when it's lonely. And do you know where that strength comes from? Right thinking. Here's something I want you to really remember. If you think small, you stay small. If you think big, you grow. Even if you fail sometimes. Dreams cost nothing. So why dream small? The price of dreaming big or dreaming small is the same, but the reward very different. You will face tough times. That's guaranteed. But when pain comes, don't ask, "How do I survive this?" Ask, "How can I grow from this?" Because pain is a teacher. It gives you lessons that comfort never will. So welcome it, smile at it, and say, "Thank you for making me stronger." Let's shift gears now and talk about something even more powerful than money, talent, or opportunity. Let's talk about time. Most people think they're tired, but they're not tired. They're distracted. They say they don't have chances left. The truth is, they've just lost their focus. You've probably heard people say, "Life is short," but that's not exactly true. Life is long enough if you stop wasting it. We live in a strange time. A time when people spend more effort decorating their Instagram feed than designing their real life. That's not a trend. It's a disease. People scroll for hours, wasting precious minutes on nonsense, then complain that they don't have time to build something meaningful. I'm not judging. I'm speaking from experience. I used to waste time too. And do you know what happened? Time punished me. Because time doesn't yell. It doesn't warn you. It just walks away silently. Nobody teaches us how to respect time. Schools teach math formulas. Society teaches status and competition. But no one teaches you how to manage the only asset you can never earn back once it's gone: You can lose money and get it back. You can lose a job and find another. But time, gone means gone forever. The saddest thing isn't people dying from disease. It's people slowly dying from 1,000 wasted hours. And here's what hurts the most. They don't even realize it's happening. I'm not impressed when someone says, I'm busy. Everyone's busy. But my question is, busy doing what? Are you busy building something? Or busy escaping your reality? Let's be honest. Most people aren't overwhelmed. They're just undisciplined with their hours. They confuse motion with progress. Running around, doing meaningless things at full speed, but getting nowhere. You can move fast in the wrong direction and still end up lost. Here's a simple truth. If someone stole your money every day, you'd stop them, right? So why do you let distractions steal your time every single day? Think about it. You open the door wide for the thief. Every time you scroll mindlessly, every time you gossip, every time you repeat the same dead-end routine, you're holding the door open for the thief to walk in and rob you. I didn't come from a wealthy family. I didn't go to some elite university. I didn't have rich parents or tech skills or a big network. But I figured something out early. If I can't beat people in money, I'll beat them in time. I started using time like a weapon, like a sword. I skipped parties. I worked weekends. I read books while others watched TV. I poured every quiet hour into building something noisy. My future. Most people don't want to hear this part, but it's the truth. Wasting just 1 hour a day adds up to 365 hours a year. That's more than 15 full days gone. Now ask yourself, what could you build in 15 days? You could create a course, launch a side business, transform your body, learn a life-changing skill. Instead, most people waste those 15 days one TikTok, one YouTube video, one pointless chat at a time, and then they blame the world when nothing changes. I hear this all the time from young people. I'm just too tired after work. Let me be real with you. After work is where your real work begins. Your job pays the bills. But what you do with your free time, that builds your future. If you get home and scroll for 2 hours, complain for another hour, and sleep off your ambition, then don't ask why your life looks the same a year from now. You're feeding your entertainment and starving your potential. Here's a simple mindset shift that changed my life. Value every minute like it's a diamond. Minutes feel small, yes, but they stack up fast. 5 minutes wasted here, 10 minutes there. Next thing you know, your week's gone. And time doesn't scream when you kill it. It dies quietly. But the results of wasted time show up loudly in your missed opportunities, in your broken dreams, in your painful regrets. Let me share a true story. Back when I was building Alibaba, I met a young man who said, Jack, I want to start something too, but I don't have time. So I asked him, how many hours do you work every day? He said 9 to 5. I smiled and said, perfect. That gives you 16 more hours every day to build your dream. He laughed like I was joking. I wasn't. He never started anything. He still works the same job, still complains about time. You see, the people who complain about time the most are often the ones who waste it the worst. They're always waiting for the right mood, waiting for the energy, waiting for the perfect moment. But time doesn't wait for you. It doesn't pause. It doesn't rewind. It just keeps moving. And every second you waste waiting for someday is a second someone else is using to build their future. Let me say something bold. You don't rise in life when others believe in you. You rise when you believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Your biggest competition isn't other people. It's not your boss. It's not your critics. It's the voice in your head that tells you, I can't do this. What if I fail? What will people think? If you don't learn how to silence that voice, you'll never win. Not truly. We talk about success like it's some secret formula. It's not. Success is a reflection of your daily habits. Do you respect your time? Do you protect your energy? Do you stay consistent even when it's boring? Let me ask you something that most people never think about. How much do you actually respect yourself? Because when you respect yourself, you stop tolerating nonsense. You stop spending time with people who drain you. You stop doing things that don't align with your goals. You stop letting laziness disguise itself as rest. Look around. Most people are stuck not because they're unlucky, but because they've made peace with mediocrity. They've built a home in the comfort zone. They've decorated the walls with excuses. They've named the pain normal. But let me remind you, comfort is the enemy of growth. Nothing amazing happens inside the comfort zone. Growth lives in the discomfort. It lives in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the lonely hours when you're working while others are sleeping. Winners don't get lucky. They get focused. They say no more than they say yes. They protect their energy like it's gold because they understand energy is everything. Your mindset, your productivity, your drive, all depend on energy. So stop giving it away to meaningless drama, to pointless arguments, to people who have no intention of growing with you. And this is important. You don't owe everyone access to you. Just because they knew the old version of you doesn't mean they deserve a seat at the table in your new life. Let them watch from a distance. Sometimes elevation requires separation. When I started rising in business, some people said I changed. They were right. I did, because staying the same was costing me my future. Change is not betrayal. Change is a requirement. But let me be clear. Change is not just about what you do. It's about how you think. And the first mindset shift you need is this: you are responsible for your life. No one else. Not your parents. Not your teachers. Not the economy. Not the system. You. Even if it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. That's what powerful people understand. And here's another truth. You don't need a 5-year plan. You need a daily commitment. A commitment to wake up early. Move your body. Read something real. Build your skills. Eliminate distractions. Speak life into yourself. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. Motivation fades. Discipline stays. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire that keeps burning when the spark is gone. And that fire, it comes from knowing why you're doing what you're doing. What's your why? If your why is weak, your excuses will win. If your why is strong, your doubts will lose. For me, my why was simple. I want to make life better for my family. I want to prove that someone like me, with no fancy background, can still build something meaningful. That was enough. That kept me going when I was laughed at, when I was rejected, when people said, "You're not the type who succeeds." I didn't argue. I just worked, because I knew results speak louder than opinions. People will doubt you until you win. And when you win, those same people will say they always believed in you. So don't waste time trying to convince people. Prove them wrong with results. Let your growth make the noise. Here's the secret: most people give up at 40%. They think they've hit their limit. But the truth is, they haven't even started. You don't know how strong you are until pain tests you. And pain will test you. It will test your patience, your faith, your self-belief. But pain is also a mirror. It shows you who you really are, not who you say you are. Who you are when no one is watching. That's when it counts. It's easy to be confident when everything's going well. But real strength shows up when life punches you in the face, when your plan falls apart, when no one claps for you, when your effort goes unnoticed. That's when most people quit. But not you. You'll get up, you'll breathe, you'll fix your crown, and you'll keep going. Because you've decided that your dream is worth the fight. You've decided to bet on yourself. And that is the most powerful decision anyone can make. Let's finish with the one mindset that changed everything for me. No one is coming to save you, so save yourself. It's harsh, but it's real. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you. Stop waiting for permission. You don't need permission to level up. You don't need permission to get disciplined. You don't need permission to chase something bigger. Most people lose because they're waiting for a moment that doesn't exist. They wait until they feel ready. They have more money. Someone gives them a shot. But life doesn't reward waiting. It rewards action. You have to take the first step, even when it's messy, even when you're scared, even when you don't have it all figured out. Clarity comes from action, not from thinking. You won't always know the whole plan. That's okay. Start anyway. People think success is a straight line. It's not. It's messy. It's hard. It's full of failure and frustration. Sometimes you'll feel like giving up. Sometimes your best won't feel like enough. Sometimes people will walk away. Let them. Not everyone is meant to go with you. Some people are part of your history, not your destiny. Let them stay in the past. You've got things to build. And don't expect applause. Don't expect everyone to understand. When you're growing, you'll make people uncomfortable. Why? Because your discipline will challenge their laziness. Your ambition will challenge their excuses. Your mindset will expose their limits. That's not your problem. Stay focused. You don't owe people explanations for your grind, just results. Let your growth offend the people who stayed comfortable. You know what's more important than people's approval? Self-respect. When you show up every day, even when it's hard, when you honor your word to yourself, when you do the hard thing, even when no one's watching, you build self-respect. And self-respect builds momentum. Let me remind you, the goal isn't just to succeed. The goal is to become the kind of person who succeeds. There's a difference. Anyone can have a lucky win, but real winners, they don't rely on luck. They rely on habits. They rely on resilience. They rely on the standard they set for themselves. Raise your standard. What are you tolerating that's keeping you small? Too many breaks. Too many distractions. Too many excuses. It's time to clean house. Because here's the truth no one wants to hear. You can't complain about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Brutal. Yes. True. Absolutely. So ask yourself, are your actions aligned with your goals? Are you really hungry for growth? Or do you just like the idea of success? Because success isn't for the interested. It's for the committed. And commitment looks like saying no to comfort, saying yes to discomfort, choosing purpose over popularity, choosing discipline over distraction. You won't always feel motivated, but you don't need motivation every day. You need a decision to show up, to do the work, to believe, even when no one else does. That's the real win. Not the money, not the fame, not the applause, but becoming someone who keeps going, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when it's silent. That's the version of you that builds empires. That version doesn't care about likes. That version cares about legacy. Because this life, it goes fast. And when you're old, you won't remember the videos you watched, or the gossip you listened to, or the people who doubted you. You'll remember whether you tried, whether you gave it your all, whether you bet on yourself. So do it. Bet on yourself. Again and again. Even when it's not working, keep betting. Because it's better to fail chasing your dream than succeed living someone else's. You have no idea what's on the other side of your consistency. So keep going. They laughed at me when I started Alibaba. They said I had no experience, no money, no connections, no future. Now, they ask for advice. So here's mine to you. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. But don't stop. Don't let your story end in regret. Let it end in legacy.